Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another Social Sports Bet podcast. I am your host, Ricky. Alongside me, as always, is Ben, and with me tonight are Alex and Jim. And we are here to discuss the trade deadline. The trade deadline ended at 4 p.m. Eastern time today, and we are going to discuss all the moves that happened and those that did not all over the league. About the good things about what it means for each of the teams involved. So, guys, say hey to the Social Sports Pod players.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay. Man. Tim. All right. So we'll start from the back. We'll start from right at the deadline to basically stuff that happened today. Basically kind of work our way back. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills trading with the Atlanta Falcons, trading for safety Dean Marlowe for a 7th round draft pick. What do you guys see from that?
More depth for the Bills. Actually, how is their secondary looking?
Well, Poyer, he's kind of beat up a little bit, so this kind of helps give Buffalo some time to let Poyer rest, unless the injury is more severe than let on. We already lost Micah Hyde for the year, so we definitely need help on the back end. And for a 7th round draft pick, that's not bad at all.
He only has 11 total tackles.
It's a safety. You don't really want your safety to make a whole bunch of tackles. You want your linebackers to make a whole bunch of tackles. You want your cornerbacks to make some decent tackles. Like your safety, you want your ball hawk. You want interceptions. You want sacks.
2 interceptions in his whole entire career.
Well, hey.
I don't know, man.
He's a depth pick. It's only a 7th round draft pick.
Yeah, see, that's all I see. He's gonna be a bench warmer guy.
Yeah, and the Falcons, they definitely moving and shaking because they also made a trade with the Chiefs for cornerback Rashad Fenton for a conditional 7th round draft pick. I don't know the conditions, but hey, when it's conditional, it's like rolling.
Yeah, that's only a 7th round pick, though.
Yeah, very cheap. So.
Yeah. For a 25-year-old, that's actually not bad. He actually is doing good this year, too. Not bad, 24 tackles.
All right. Any other thought before we go to the next one? Because we're rapid fire this.
I guess good for the Falcons. And they lost secondary, and they gained it. So they tread water.
This is the team they got.
All right. The kind of moves that a lot of people are like scratching their head over a little bit is Buffalo and Indianapolis.
He was the Falcons, and he was traded to the Bills, but gave up that.
So the Bills sent Zach Moss and a conditional 5th round draft pick for next year's draft for Nyheim Hines.
They traded a player.
Traded stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm explaining to my cousin how this works.
All right. See, we're helping people out. Helping the cousin. But so so Hines went to Buffalo. Moss went to Indianapolis. I think this is a good for Zach Moss. He wasn't in good favor with the Buffalo staff, as evidenced by his play time. Hines is definitely a great third down back. Can play in the slot, can be utilized.
That's his position.
What he does. And Indianapolis, they get a player that can catch out of the backfield, that can give a little bit of rest to Jonathan Taylor and.
Yeah, I mean he's young. He don't have a lot of tread on him.
And who knows? He might be the next Buffalo Bills running back that goes to another team and just goes off.
Rise into the sunset.
Yeah. Beast mode. What? All right. Somebody's car is going off.
I hear
that. All right. Arguably the best trade of the week, or not of the week, but of the day, is the Miami Dolphins dealing Bradley Chubb and a 5th-round draft pick in 2025. Long time ago, or long time away, for Chase Edmonds, a 1st-round draft pick for next year's draft, and a 4th-round draft pick in the following year draft. So pick for 2024 and 2023. I really see Miami. They are going all in.
Yeah,
on this.
Definitely chips in.
So, I mean, me being a Bills fan, I hope the hell this doesn't work out for them. Because they do not produce this year or the next year. They are going to be basically bottom of the AFC East for the next 5 years.
Yeah, they're putting all their chips in. They got rid of a lot of draft picks out of that too.
They're learning from LA Rams.
Well, I mean, the Rams, they learned from Belichick. When was the last time Belichick drafted somebody in the 1st round?
Maybe a late 1st round or early 2nd.
Yeah. Basically, after they dealt Bradley Chubb, the Broncos made a pick for, or traded a 4th-round draft pick to the New York Jets for defensive end Jacob Martin, and a 5th-round pick in 2024. I mean, hey, bolster a line, losing a linebacker. I mean, do you?
It
Denver
doesn't really affect anybody.
Yeah, it's like what? It's a death move to me, and it's just like
Atlanta. They gave up one, but then traded for another one, just to keep the depth.
That's all this is. They won the deal. The Jets just wanted to get rid of them.
Yeah. And Miami was definitely moving and shaking today. Jeff Wilson from the 49ers, a casualty of the Christian McCaffrey trade. Yep. He got traded to the Dolphins for a 5th-round draft pick next year. I mean, fairly cheap for, definitely he was a good running back. He was solid for the 49ers. I mean, yeah, he wasn't Elijah Mitchell, but he definitely filled in well. There was only one game where he kind of was but but then again, you got McCaffrey, so hey, and it also reunites Wilson with Ricky Mostert and his former coordinator, is now the coach of the Dolphins.
Hey, I think it's a good move. I think he wins.
Hey, yeah,
more playing time, definitely.
You get the playing time he lost.
Oh yeah, you knew when McCaffrey came in, he wasn't getting any playing time.
All right, so the Falcons.
A hot pocket in my fantasy.
So the Falcons basically traded Calvin Ridley, basically making the Jaguars gamble a little bit on being able to use Calvin Ridley's services as a conditional 5th-round pick next year's draft and a 2nd-round pick conditionally in the following draft. So
now they got a 2023 5th rounder and a 2024 conditional 4th. That's what ESPN.
I got a second conditionally in the, for NFL from the 2024. So,
So
yes.
ESPN or NFL, somebody's wrong.
Or it could go both ways. Like it could be initially right now a 4th-round pick that could turn into a 2nd-round pick
Maybe
due
it all
to
depends
playing time.
Yeah, playing time. Yeah.
All right. The Steelers made a trade with the Commanders to get William Jackson III and a conditional 7th-round pick in 2025 for a 2025 conditional 6th-round pick from the to the Commanders. Like, people are really going like 3 years in advance.
Doesn't make any sense. Why are we going so far out?
I mean, hey, we do not get paid to make these decisions. They're making these decisions. Chicago was definitely big this week. They traded and got Chase Claypool from the Steelers for a 2nd-round draft pick in next year's draft. I really
pretty high.
I like this move a little bit. I definitely see this being a bump for Mooney. I definitely see this being a bump for Fields.
Well, Claypool returns back to his home area in Notre Dame area.
So, yeah, we shall see. Definitely keep your eye on Justin Fields. He has been definitely trending up in form. Kind of using soccer terminology here with the World Cup. Kind of jumping on our doorstep. But, yeah, Fields definitely he's been playing at a higher level than he has last year and at the beginning of this year. It's nice to see his coordinators actually finally working with him, and utilizing his strengths.
He had a really nice pass. He had a really nice pass last night or Sunday night. It was beautiful.
Definitely, I definitely hope things work out. I mean, it's tough to see any player suffer. That's not Baker Mayfield or Tom Brady. All right. Now, here is my vote for the big winner of the draft. TJ Hawkins, or not the draft, but the trade deadline. TJ Hawkinson going to Minnesota, as well as a 4th-round draft pick and a conditional 4th-round pick in 2024 for the low price of a 2023 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round draft pick in 2024. That is breadcrumbs, and it gives Kirk Cousins a phenomenal weapon.
He hasn't had a good tight end in a little while now.
I mean, they saw like Irv Smith saw enough of him to get rid of Kyle Rudolph. I mean, Kyle Rudolph's production, had tapered a bit as well. But I don't know about you. Kirk Cousins needs a tight end.
When
having
Jordan Reed, when he had Jordan Reed when he was in Washington, they were good.
And I mean, having a nice Kyle Rudolph, a good production out of Kyle Rudolph during the Diggs and Thielen years. Like, Diggs and Thielen blew up, thanks to Kyle Rudolph. I mean, Rudolph, was able to get some touchdowns, but it was able to spread out and do more with that offense. So I see Justin Jefferson getting a little bump. I see Kirk Cousins getting a big bump. I see basically I'm being bump Oprah. Yeah, actually, to be fair, I'm probably your guy at the Wawa parking lot getting bumps.
Right. Other than the Eagles, I think the Vikings could be a potential Super Bowl team too.
I don't know about that. I don't think they're. I think in the AFC, I don't think the Vikings defense is good enough to beat the Eagles. But definitely offensively, definitely have almost matching firepower to the Eagles.
They traded within their own division too.
Yeah, that was like weird. Like, whoa.
That is completely weird.
I mean, hey, it happens. It happens. I mean, the Patriots traded Drew Bledsoe to the Bills many, many moon ago when Brady came on the scene. So that's like 25, 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ravens. My God. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry going over everything the past like few days or so. Yeah, the Ravens won this trade deadline by getting Roquan Smith, premier defensive linebacker from the Bears.
Ravens needed something.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of A.J. Klein, a second-round pick in next year's draft, and a fifth-round pick in next year's draft. So, I mean, it helps both parties a little bit. The Ravens get a defensive guy that can help them finish games because, everybody here, definitely has seen Baltimore, except for like last week.
They're like a bad guy in bed. They can't do a finish at all.
Well, I mean, they finish early. They finish like in the first half, and then then just like lay back.
1 minute, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, So hopefully, this helps Baltimore when they go up by 10 to stay up by 10.
Yeah, hopefully. They need somebody else on offense, though, too, because they're killing Lamar. Lamar's going to eventually fall apart. He's going to turn into a Newton.
Another RG3.
Or RG3 if he gets injured. That's if he gets injured. If he gets injured, he has to learn how to stay in the pocket. That's the problem I have with these running quarterbacks. There's the old school running quarterbacks. They were bigger. Cam Newton was bigger, but he abused his body.
Well, to be fair, these offensive linemen are getting smaller. There's no protection for these quarterbacks enough anymore.
No, there's no protection around the league at all.
Yeah, as they talked last night, or not last night, but Sunday night in the Bills game. They were like, the Bills went out and they got beef on the line. On the defensive line because they were getting pushed around a little bit. So,
smaller guys.
Basically, you get big guys, you're going to be able to do more against these offenses with their smaller.
They're not like they don't have massive balls.
Yeah. All right. So we got two more trades. Basically, these happened before the trade deadline, but we didn't hit on them. Kansas City receiving Kadarius Toney for a 6th-round pick and a conditional a 3rd-round compensatory draft pick. It's not conditional. It's just like one of their extra picks from.
What's up with this guy? He didn't play much.
Who?
Toney.
Yeah, he's going to play like 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like he got hurt, so they kind of really didn't use him, and
he was a last year's pick too.
Yeah, he was good when he played, but it was just he's a giant wide receiver. Unless your name is Slayton, you're not really doing much of anything for the Giants right now.
Mahomes will utilize him.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely a speedster. Definitely gonna help stretch the field. It's going to be very exciting to watch Kansas City. And then finally, the Bears weakening their defense. Trading Robert Quinn to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 4th-round draft pick. really, I see the Bears kind of almost giving up on their season this year.
Yeah, it seems
And
like they've been.
Which doesn't make sense because then they would trade for Mapletron. So it's like, what?
I mean, they needed to do something. One, to start giving Fields some weapons. Because right now in Chicago, they have the running game, Kmet, and Moon. That's it. You know, so you need... Yeah. So, I mean, those were the moves. Were there any surprises that you guys saw in these moves? Now, don't talk about what wasn't moved. We'll talk about that, just after this. So, was there anything that shocked you in the moves?
Probably Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. For me, it was Hawkinson. Yeah.
That too, because he's pretty young too.
Well, that and like the Lions, like now it's okay. You have Amon Ra and Amon Ra.
That's a great name,
Right?
For me, it was the Bills.
The Hines trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, I saw Moss was going to be kind of a trade piece because I mean, Moss has serious potential. It's just the Bills aren't a right team for him. Yeah. And everybody knew the Bills were going to be involved in trying to get a running back. I mean, everybody was mentioned as a potential trade landing spot for the Bills. So, I mean, that was the move that was made. So on that note, let's go to moves that weren't made. There were many names that were, thrown out there for potential trade baits. David Montgomery was rumored to be trade bait. Kareem Hunt was rumored to be on the block. Brandon Cooks was, on the block. Was there
Moore.
any
DJ Moore?
Gibson?
DJ Moore?
I think it was Elijah Moore from the Jets.
The Panthers.
DJ Moore from the Panthers.
Gibson?
Yeah. Antonio Gibson from the Commanders. I mean, was there anybody that I want you guys to just give me one name that kind of surprised you that they weren't moved? All right. We'll go kind of rapid fire style. Ben, then Tim, then Alex, then me. Okay, Ben, go ahead.
All right. So the player that I'm really surprised didn't get traded is probably Moore from the Panthers. I watched the end of that game, and my God, he cost the Panthers to lose.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure that was the nail in the coffin.
Especially with the fire sale that's going on there,
Exactly. You took your fucking helmet off. You got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You just turned that into, I mean, it's still kind of a chip shot, into a 40 freaking yard kick. Are you kidding me? Like, that's ridiculous. You just turned a 1-point kick that is normally a 3-point kick. Like, what? It makes no sense. I would have got rid of him.
Oh well, I just got a potential spam call from Houston Texans. Texas. What? It's probably the Texans trying to get me to trade for Brandon Cooks.
And I'm surprised.
All right, so Tim, give me a name that you were surprised didn't get traded.
I think Gibson was a big name because a lot of people wanted him to go to the Bills, but like I think Ben Robinson would like run the team. I think Gibson should have been traded because they got Ben Robinson that's like stepping up his game like Commanders.
Okay. I mean, Gibson had some fumbling issues, so he would have been tough to offload.
Gibson has picked up the ball though. He hasn't really made any mistakes this year. And honestly, I think Washington needs him. They need that 2 to 3 dead running back committee. They don't have a fourth running back to rely on right now.
Alex?
I'm surprised Green Bay didn't try to trade for Brandon Cooks.
Fair. I mean, Green Bay
Cowboys
with
talking about
the lack of receiver depth. Again, they mentioned it on the Sunday night game that Green Bay only had like 3 guys, to catch the ball. So,
I'm sure,
3 receivers. So, like, they
I'm sure
went
Aaron
with the
Rodgers
ground
is
game.
not happy.
When is Aaron Rodgers happy? Like, the guy is slowly becoming an angry wizard man. Yeah, like if you look at his pictures that they've used, especially like the Sunday night game, he looks like he's slowly becoming like a Nicolas Cage fill-in for being a wizard. Now, a guy I'm surprised didn't get moved is Kareem Hunt. I'm surprised Cleveland didn't deal him because one, Kareem Hunt wanted out, and there were so many running back needy teams that could use a guy of Kareem Hunt services. Seattle, Buffalo, they're talking Philadelphia in the mix. Just so many teams that I'm surprised that Kareem Hunt, who they have not used like they did last year in Cleveland,
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on there.
Yeah, like the way they used him the past couple of weeks before the trade deadline screamed to me they were shopping him to keep him healthy.
Make sure. Monday he had a good game.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the most he'd used since, like, I think, like, we.
Yeah, it's really odd how they're not really using him.
So, finally, in our trade deadline edition of, the podcast, tell me a team that really improved through the trades. Ben, who do you think kind of won the trade deadline?
Because it's still a gamble, I'm going with the Dolphins, and followed up by the Bills.
All right, Tim?
The Ravens won it because with the defense, with Queen Smith, they just need one play. They don't need the whole team around. Just one play with that team.
Okay. Alex?
The Vikings won today. They should have enough to at least top their division.
Yeah, I mean, they can lock that up by Thanksgiving if they keep playing the way they are. For me, I definitely see the big winner is, I'm going to have to agree and say the Vikings. They picked up a phenomenal piece that's definitely going to help out their offense, which helps out their defense. And like I said, they're going to lock this thing up by Thanksgiving. They can start resting people.
They can start wrapping Christmas presents.
Yup.
There you go.
They can go to Fanatic. follow our link.
I mean, yeah. So on that note, you can go to fanatics.com and basically click our link in our bio and get some of these new jerseys, TJ Hawkinson Vikings jersey, or a Chase Claypool Bears jersey, or dare I say a Calvin Ridley Jaguars jersey. No, nobody wants that.
But, nice with a Claypool all orange jersey look. That'd be nice.
I mean, I definitely would love to see. And to be fair, there's nobody really I want to get. I want a big jersey of.
I don't want any of these guys' jerseys though. There's none. I mean, if I was a fan of the team, maybe Wilson, maybe Chubb, Claypool, and Hawkinson.
Yeah. I mean, a McCaffrey jersey. Absolutely.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, especially, give me the, that one. I want the white jersey. I want the away jersey. Just, to me, the 49ers away jersey just looks so much better than the home jersey. But that's just me. I'm weird like that.
You like that old classic look?
Yeah. But anyway, make sure to go to Fanatics. You can always go to W Energy and get some of the 2022 America's Game Energy Drink of the Year. Use our promo code SSPP10. And on that note, this has been Ricky from the Social Sports Pad Podcast. And for Ben, Alex, and Tim, we wish you a good night, good week, and always a good season.